It is Powwow.
The Powwow with Mo podcast.
Welcome to episode 16 of the Powwow with Mo podcast. I'm Mo.
I am Powwow.
All right, and this was coming late because Powwow's whole family was sick.
Yeah, man, we all were just terribly sick for the last week.
Yeah, babies and all.
Yeah.
All right, so been a while since we had an episode. I'm sure there's a lot of current events. I have very, very few. More of like my personal events.
Yeah.
So start us off with random current events.
So the first thing that I have to talk about is the former Arizona sheriff, and I probably will butcher this last name, Joe Arpaio.
Close enough.
Okay, so
He's the one that puts prisoners in pink and makes them live in like 110 degree temperature and they die and sue him. And
that is correct.
That guy.
Yeah, I mean, terrible person who decided to burn a dog, have a woman shackled while giving birth. Terrible, terrible person in general. Refused to investigate child sex crimes.
he's like a funny caricature.
Yes, but Donald Trump is obviously endorsing him because he said that, he's a great person for Trump. That, he'll be able to, he says his quote was, "I have a lot to offer. I'm a big supporter of President Trump. I'm going to have to work hard. You don't have to take anything for granted, but I would not be doing this if I thought that I could not win. I'm not here to get my name in the paper. I get that every day anyway."
I mean, it depends. I don't really know Arizona politics, obviously, because I don't live there.
Correct.
I know they've had crazy shit go through in the past,
Yeah.
Their deportation sort of laws or whatever caused an uproar at one time. So maybe that voter base would vote for him. I just don't know. In my mind, I'm like, I feel like a lot of Mexicans live in Arizona. And as long as they're legal and can vote,
Then they're going to go, "No, we're not going to vote for you."
right, but I don't know. I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah, I mean, this quote it makes me laugh. It says, "Being a U.S. Senator is a little different than being the sheriff because you can do a lot of things in the U.S. Senate, and I have many plans, believe me." That is kind of slightly terrifying. Like, what you did as a sheriff was bad enough in general.
Right. Well, I mean, he is from the same cloth as Trump, and they don't understand that, like, the Senate makes laws.
I don't know if they fully grasp how politics
The court
work
system
in general,
punishes people.
But agreed. I mean, it is a
civics
little
class.
nuts. But to me, I mean, the very first pardon Trump issued last year was this gentleman.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's quite crazy to me. But it was nuts as it was for him to be this, all-powerful sheriff, but now he's running for Senate. I hope, citizens of Arizona say, "You know what? This is a terrible person. We're not going to put him in office." But the way things are going, I believe he'll probably get elected.
Right. Something I saw, so on New Year's Eve, we watched the Dave Chappelle stand-up special.
Yes, we did.
Kind of in the background.
By the way, that's like 5 or 6 years we were trying to figure that out. We've spent New Year's Eve together.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of boring these days, but it's whatever.
For sure.
So we watched Dave Chappelle, and then I was reading a lot of things on different websites that were kind of bashing it, right? Like, he misses the point. Because remember that whole part where he's talking about his backlash of the transsexual jokes and all that?
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't think Dave Chappelle owes anyone anything to be the moral police and say everything correct. He's a stand-up comedian.
Not as a comedian, yeah.
And I do like his take. And some of their points in these articles were like, he has to because he is the voice for so many people. And I agree. Like, I'll assume, I mean, his takes will probably become my take. Same with, like, Jon Stewart, Colbert, think people I like in entertainment. But I think the media, it's one of those examples of where, like, I agree it is super liberal because, no, most people do have those similar thoughts about transsexual. Like, the average person does not know someone transsexual.
Yeah.
And so they are wondering, like, oh, I don't want to see Caitlyn Jenner naked in Sports Illustrated. Like, and that was a joke, right? Like, I just think he's allowed to be funny. And I think a lot of the media type that live on the coast, I think they overestimate where people are at. Like, I'm just like, no,
Agreed.
I think it actually hits pretty much home what people think.
Yeah.
And especially in the black community where they're even more religious on average and kind of more against, homosexuality and transgender people. So, I don't know. And his whole point of, like, he thinks it's tolerated because white men want to do it. I think that's a super funny joke.
It is. I mean, again, he's a stand-up comedian.
Right.
I think there's a... I understand he has a lot of, I guess you could call it power with regards to how many people listen to him, but you can't knock on him for what he's saying in a stand-up, in my opinion.
Right.
But, so in some of the sports world, Isaiah Thomas, I don't know if you've seen this, but he was ejected for clotheslining Andrew Wiggins. But first off, I just want to know physically how that happened.
Well,
Isaiah
Andrew
Thomas
Wiggins
is
was
5'8".
jumping up. So, I mean, I think physics, it makes sense. But to me, it was obvious they were just getting blown out in that game, and it was a frustration.
And he
moment.
was
He didn't mean
pissed.
to do it.
No, I'm
It was
not
like a
saying he
split
did, but
second moment of,
just real mad.
God damn it.
But it's just funny that you have someone who's 5'8" or whatever,
Right.
that's clotheslining somebody. That I found that quite funny.
My favorite basketball story, and I've been watching lots of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder have been pissing me off lately. They're playing at the moment, so hopefully it goes well. We'll see. But LeVar Ball, talking shit about Luke Walton when he's in Lithuania.
Yeah.
And Luke Walton, after the basketball game, because he pulled Lonzo Ball halfway through the first quarter, and the reporter goes, "Why'd you take Lonzo out halfway through the first quarter?" And he said his dad was talking shit, so I pulled him. And that's like the best quote any coach could ever have. And that's the perfect way to handle it. I loved it.
I mean, first off, did you see the first game with LiAngelo and LaMelo? Yeah. They combined for 29 points.
Hell yeah.
However, LaMelo had 5 turnovers.
He's fucking 16.
Agreed. But LiAngelo had a much better game than LaMelo, which some people thought that was going to be in
He's
reverse.
a grown-up.
But again, first off, LiAngelo started. LaMelo came off the bench.
Right.
But I want to see how this progresses.
Was it on their little D-League team?
I don't know. I know it was on TV because people were watching it, which is probably one of the very first times.
They're selling their jerseys for as much as an NBA jersey. It's crazy.
I mean, I do think...
I kind of cheer for them, but their dad is fucking bonkers.
I mean, there comes a point in time where you're being detrimental to your kids.
Yeah.
When you think you're trying to do good, but first off, now these kids can never play college basketball, ever.
Yep.
Because now they're professional athletes.
Yep.
So if they were to go to college, it's not going to be on a scholarship.
I think it's super cool, honestly, because there's a lot of European players that don't have to go to college. They get to come in the league. And so I don't think it's the worst idea. It's just...
I mean, you're putting all your eggs in a very small basket.
It was too early for LaMelo.
Yeah,
and
he's
LiAngelo
16 years old.
A scholarship to a D1 prestigious college.
And not only that, to me, you were saying that it's okay to shoplift if I'm a ball. It's okay to do that. Because my coach is going to suspend me because I shoplifted. Now I'm going to get upset as a parent that my kid shoplifted because the person suspended them for doing so.
I'm just saying, if that was me, my mom would be pissed at me.
She'd be whipping my ass if that was the case.
Right.
She would probably suspend me for a month.
All right, while we're in the sports world, Jacksonville won, so that was cool.
First off, super awesome, but however, I have to admit, one of the more boring playoff games. But they got a win. I was really stoked for Jacksonville because it is great to see that
It was cool. Jalen Ramsey picked it to seal it.
Yeah,
right?
that was awesome.
Anyway, so that was cool. We'll see next week how it goes. I like their chances against the Steelers. Everyone's counting them out already, even though they beat the Steelers before. So we're going to see how it goes.
And to me, in the playoffs, you can never count a team out on how they did in the season. I mean, look at the Giants. Every time that they won the Super Bowl, at least in the Eli Manning era, they started in the wild card.
Right.
I mean, I don't think you can just say because how their season went. But as you mentioned, they beat them in the regular season. I put a lot of faith in Leonard Fournette. And that defense is just redonkulously good.
Right.
So with some more sports world, with LeBron James, I'm sure you've probably seen this, Mo, where it has the African-American child that's wearing the hoodie with H&M, and it says on there, coolest monkey in the jungle.
Right.
First off, I don't see how someone didn't go, it's probably a bad idea.
I mean, I agree with that. But my hot take is if I'm like me at that age, now I'm a white kid, I love the color green, and I loved monkeys, and I was a fan of jungle settings. And if I saw that hoodie as a kid, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to wear it. No one would have said a fucking word.
No.
But all of a sudden, because that model was black, It's fucking what it is racist in the way that people don't realize.
Agreed.
It's racist because now he can't get work modeling those sort of clothes. I just don't think there's anything wrong with the hoodie.
Well,
I think something's wrong with you if you saw that and you were like, how dare you call that little black boy a monkey?
Agree. Well, not only that, I believe this child is under 18, obviously.
Right.
The parents have to sign off on this.
Right.
You tell me the parent didn't know what they were going to be wearing when they're standing there at the photo shoot?
Yeah.
Going, hey guys, I want to stop this. No, they're like, please pay me the
What
money.
if that kid fucking loves monkeys? And he was like, fuck yeah,
Let me do
hoodie.
it. Like, I think, and as a child, you don't have those negative stigmas that comes with what this saying is. Now, I think in general, it was a bad idea and a terrible ad, just because of what's going on currently. But I think a lot of people are putting way too much into this. And again, it doesn't help that people like LeBron James comes in and just immediately... I understand it's an issue, but I think it could have been, hey, not the best decision to
Photoshop the black kid out, put a white kid in.
I mean, that... But, you know, if you were to do that, it's going to get racism even more.
Right, but like, if they would have just took the picture of the shirt on the ground without a model in it...
Would have been an issue.
It would not have been an issue. So I just find it odd. I don't know.
If a white kid...
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of other racist ways you can go with it. Like the saltiest cracker in the box.
Exactly.
But that's just funny.
I don't know.
Like, it's funny to sexually harass men. It's funny to be racist towards white people. It's just the world we live in.
Maybe the kid goes, you know what? I'm going to own this shirt. I'm just going to ball out with it because I don't give a damn.
Right. I mean, okay, so I have a friend, Justin Boone, who I grew up with, black dude. And I remember one time one of my friends in the car said, shimmy up that pole, you monkey.
Oh my God.
And I've never seen someone, like, he got madder than that than, like, someone called me N-word, because I heard that had a lot, too.
Yeah.
And, like, I could have said it and he wouldn't really cared, but, like, he got, like, super offended, right? And I was like, monkeys are badass. I don't know what y'all are talking. I've always liked monkeys.
For sure.
So, random news. Hydrogen peroxide is useless.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I mean, it can like bleach your hair and shit,
yeah.
But as far as like cleaning wounds and like trying to prevent bacteria and all that shit, like it just doesn't.
Really?
All it is it's like a catalyst in your blood is reacting with something in it that makes that bubble and fizzle thing, but it's actually not doing what I've been told my whole life it does.
If you see it bubbling, then there's some sort of infection.
And that's an infection.
Like that's what you're told as a kid.
Right.
That's crazy.
Anyway, I read that this week was like, I'm crushed.
Yeah, that's
crushed by this news.
That's pretty nuts. So this is again something that's very random. There was a police team in North Wales that posted a picture of their breakfast. Again, it's not that big of an issue, but these people are blowing it up, and it has egg, sausage, beans, and bacon. Okay. And they're having a team meeting or something like that is what it's called. Because it was labeled not bad, not one egg broken, let the team meeting begin. However, this Twitter user named Diana says...
her, like, just straight up she got the name Diana on Twitter?
I guess that's it. Is her name Diana? I mean, it's impressive that you just have Diana.
Early
maybe they took out some of the other parts so they didn't say her entire Twitter name.
No.
But she puts, speaking as a taxpayer, I prefer them to be less selective when answering questions and perhaps not post breakfast pics that offend vegetarian/vegan followers. Pretty thoughtless considering the job title they have. The hate that she gets immediately afterwards.
She deserves it.
And it says, as a taxpayer, I think you should tweet photos of your breakfast unless it's a protected species.
Right. I mean, you can be vegetarian, you do whatever you want, right? And yeah, there was sausage and bacon and things you mentioned there, so that's really meat. But like the eggs thing drives me nuts because like they don't understand that chickens will lay eggs.
Yeah.
And if a rooster isn't around, it's not a baby. You're not eating baby chickens. Those eggs were just going to spoil and go to nothing. Like,
exactly right.
Oh, man,
anyway. And
anyway.
then there was another vegetarian that says, vegetarian here, but not offended. Not a banner waiver. People have a right to live their lives as how they choose.
Yeah, that seems to be a good attitude.
Exactly. There's just too many. I mean, I guess you call them snowflakes. I don't know. It's just.
I don't even know if it's that. Like.
I don't get the issue with someone posting that. Like, seriously?
I just think everyone thinks they're going to change the world.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of people do. And so they're like, what do you mean you're not listening to what I'm saying? But I'm a genius.
Right?
And it's like, no, none of us are. We're all fucking idiots.
Exactly.
Every one of us.
So I know we've talked about this, but it was official this week. John Gruden signed a 10-year, $100 million contract, which is by far the longest and most lucrative coaching contract of all time when it comes to the pros.
Right.
It was funny.
What's Bill Belichick worth?
First off, Bill Belichick has never, ever mentioned, period, because this came out in ESPN, they've never mentioned his salary or how long he's had a contract. We don't know if his contract ends at the end of the season or if it goes through 2025.
Dude, he's a G. That's all there is to it.
No one knows, but I did see that it said if anyone wanted to shop for Bill Belichick, it would cost you 3 first-round picks.
Damn.
Like, that's crazy. I mean, I seen that
he doesn't need them though. So if you got him as a coach, it might be a good deal.
I mean, he'd be like, I don't care about first-round picks. I get them out of 6th round.
Yeah,
That's
I'm about
Tom
to trade
Brady.
all your star
You know what I'm
players for
saying?
mid-round guys.
And I'll get you Super Bowls. I've got like 5 of them now.
Yeah, but I assume the John Gruden thing's gonna not work out. I know that's what probably most people are saying. I don't really watch ESPN too much, but he's cool. But I mean, I just don't.
Well, so this is the thing: is that
if it works out, I don't think it's gonna be because of him.
No,
now
now
Derek Carr blossoms into something crazy, and Khalil Mack's like a 10-year Pro Bowler.
Agreed. Now I do think first off, Marshawn Lynch is standing on his last leg. He may have one more season. Now, granted, this year he still had plenty of beast mode moments.
See, I thought this was the last year in Oakland, but after they talked about it,
they've got 2 more years.
2 more after this.
Yeah,
and then it goes to Vegas.
But it was funny because when he did his interview when he first came in, he goes, I didn't think I was going to leave Oakland originally, and so like it made it kind of awkward. And he's like, and I didn't think I'd be coming back, but here I am and I'm ready to win. But when they were talking to him in his interview, he goes, people always talk about my past. He goes, that means nothing. But I do think his John Gruden quarterback camp that he's had for the last 8+ years is only going to help him. And he goes, I was in a lot of meetings.
I mean, it will, but what was he doing? Like, sure, you have a memory of like, I remember he did this when he was 18.
Well, he's got film on every 22. One of them.
Yeah, I mean, but every coach has film on every quarterback.
No, agreed. But I mean, not only that, but he was in meetings every Monday night with every team that played on Monday Night Football. And he goes, I think being a broadcaster helped me. He goes, because I was able to be in meetings. I was able to see their game plan. And he goes, yes, are they going to change it? Absolutely. He goes, but I was able to at least get some of how the coaching mindset is. But to me,
I just think a good coach already would have done that. Like, even without being just being a coach would have been able to do some of that.
Agreed.
Unless it's Bill Belichick, because he doesn't talk.
Yeah, who knows what the hell I don't know. First of all, Bill Belichick is just such a recluse person. It's ridiculous. But I am kind of excited to see how this goes because I miss the yelling like, I forget his name, Bill Cowher. I just miss those yelling, spitting coaches.
For sure.
They was on the sidelines. I just want to see those antics.
He's like that, he might not be. It's been 10 years,
He may be different. But I just want to see the very first preseason game when he snaps on somebody.
For sure. All right, the last thing I had on current events sort of thing is that Donald Trump book came out, the Fire and Fury book.
Yes.
I haven't read it, of course. I ain't going to go out of my way to read that. I will say, I think, because I saw the guy on Colbert, the author, and Colbert kind of was grilling him of like, you don't have sources. Like, this is just kind of like a he said, she said book. And that's basically what it is. Like, the guy admitted, like, I heard all these stories from different people in the White House, and then I left it up to me to decide who I thought was telling the truth, and that's how I presented it. Yep. That's what movies do, TV shows, all the time, so I don't really think anything against it. I think most of it sounds fairly accurate, really.
Yeah. But I seen he lost his news spot with Brightheart News because of the book.
Steve Bannon. Yeah. So anyway, it's caused a lot of uproar at the moment. Every day there's some new.
There's something
story,
about it.
But I don't know. I would guess I would kind of like to read it, but I know I'm never.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think.
I'll let someone give me the highlights.
Yeah, just give me the cliff notes of it.
Exactly.
All right, the very last thing I have is regarding Cam Newton in this past week whenever he played in the game. So in the fourth quarter, he gets hit in the head, right? So he's walking off the field, and he stumbles to the ground to give his kicker some more time. That's what the Panthers came out and said. To me, that's taking the lesser of two evils because they did not go through concussion protocol.
Of course, that's obvious to me.
So now it's a huge issue saying, well, did he actually have a concussion? Or did you embellish the injury and get an extra timeout because of it?
Well, Cam's not the type to sell him out, so he's gonna say what. He'll say, yeah,
He'll
I
just
cheated.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I mean, I think that's definitely the easiest way to go. But to me, either way, I think they're going to get fined, or I don't think they'll lose the draft pick, but maybe. But we'll see what comes of that.
Oh man, yeah, I have this thing here that says YouTube videos. Have no idea what that was supposed to remind me of to bring up, but
Maybe the YouTube video from Marissa regarding Oprah Winfrey's Golden Globe.
We'll bring that one up later. But that wasn't what I don't remember. But anyway, so I've watched a few things since we've last been on here. A show I could not recommend anymore is a show called Crashing. Now,
Never heard of it.
let me try to think of the main dude's name real quick. He has a podcast called You Made It Weird with, and then his fucking name. Anyway, can't think of his name right now. Anyway, the show's called Crashed. Judd Apatow produces it or whatever. It's basically Entourage if Vince, middle-aged comedian who does not do really blue comedy.
Okay.
So the first episode, his wife cheats on him. This dude, right? Are you looking up this Crash show? Because that'd be.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Talking about Pete Holmes?
Pete Holmes. Yes, he used to have that show on after Conan.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
And it's also got that Lauren Lapkus lady in it.
Yeah. It has a lot of people. So TJ Miller's in a bunch of episodes. So anyway, here's the premise of the show. First episode kind of goes away, but his wife cheats on him.
Okay.
And then he leaves, and he's been wanting to pursue stand-up comedy. And so he ends up staying the night at Artie Lang's house after he does a set or some shit. And then every episode, it's basically him crashing at someone's house because he doesn't have a home.
Okay.
And he's trying to pursue stand-up comedy. So I really like stand-up comedy. So I like any show that kind of revolves around that. But you get to hear some pretty funny sets from different people. And I do like the way he's very... he's just not blue. Like he curses every now and then. But he'll be something like, you ever looked at a sunflower? And that's how his jokes are. So it's a lot different than most of the comedians I like. So I really liked Crash. I knocked out season 1. It's on HBO.
Yeah. Sarah Silverman's on it.
Yeah, he stays with Sarah Silverman for an episode, maybe 2. I don't know if I brought it before. I might have that. I watched Survivor, this last season of Survivor.
Yeah, you were talking about it.
Because I just, after Big Brother was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch Survivor. Mm-hmm. And at the end of this Survivor season was so good.
What was it?
It was all kinds of out of nowhere. It's they normally do a whole vote for who the third person is. It was no, the third and fourth person has to have a fire building contest to determine who goes on.
Oh man!
What? One dude won he found 4 hidden immunities.
Yeah,
4 weeks in a row. Right. It was really pretty good. And I was like, oh yeah, Survivor's not bad. I still kind of feel like it's a little set up. I don't really know.
Yeah, I remember whenever it was, I think, in Australia.
Yeah,
where there was a lot of reports coming out that they were giving food to them, and
that was season 2. So I don't.
But
know
it may
how
have changed
now. But I did start watching Amazing Race because of Cody and Jessica from Big Brother are on this season.
Yep.
So I watched the first episode of that.
Is it good? Because I kind of want to. I'll be honest. I quit watching Amazing Race because it drove me nuts.
I've only watched a season or 2 here or there of it. I've never been a huge fan. I get I understand why it's kind of cool. But another part of all those CBS reality shows, like a Survivor and stuff, it's so much just watching random scenes of nothingness. On Survivor, it's here's a 15-second clip of a sea turtle, and it's just show the shit or don't. I don't know.
Exactly.
And Amazing Race is the same way because they're going to all these cool places.
Yeah, and they're
so
now let's go down to this downtown in Dubai and
right. But all the teams on Amazing Race all seem like you would have. If you had told me Jessica and Cody were going, I'm they're probably going to be favorite because Cody's
super
rocket scientist, military guy who's yoked, right? And Jessica's not an idiot. It doesn't seem like it is fairly in shape. But no, there's people that are professional NASCAR drivers.
Oh, man.
Sean Marion's on it.
Really?
And then this dude who was an NBA All-Star back in the day before our time of really watching. I can't remember his name. And they're not very good. They cheated to win a challenge on the first episode and then had to have a penalty where they had to wait and hope that
the next team didn't get it.
It was pretty good. So anyway, I would recommend Amazing Race. I'm about to get back into that. And then I recently watched a Netflix show called End of the Fucking World.
Okay.
I believe there's just going to be one season. They could do a second season. I don't know. It's super weird. Like, if you really just want a weird show, basically this kid thinks he's a psychopath and is going to murder someone. And then he finds this girl and he's a target. And then she's, like, also kind of troubled and is like, I'm going to lose my virginity to that guy. And then they kind of run off together. And then they accidentally kill someone. And then it's all craziness. It's like they're all British accents and shit.
Yeah.
But it gets crazy. It's just one of those shows where you're like, well, I got to watch the next one. At no point was I like, I really like it. But I was always like, I got to see what they do next.
Yeah.
So if you just have time to kill, and each episode's like 18 minutes. They're
really?
Real short.
So I have not watched any new shows, but there are a few new ones coming out this year that I'm kind of anxious to see. One of them is Roseanne. I was a huge Roseanne fan growing up. My mom watched it, so I
watch it a lot now. Like when it's on, when I was at my parents' for Christmas on TV Land, I watched the Roseanne marathon.
So what I seen some of the political premise is that Roseanne was the only family member in her family to vote for Trump.
Right.
So now they're going through.
I think her and Dan both did.
Maybe that was it. And I still want to know how that whole thing
makes total sense. I know. I think they're gonna say. Here's my hope. After I've watched some Roseanne recently, I hope they claim she fell asleep before the lottery. Before they won the lottery, and that everything from the winning the lottery and afterwards didn't happen.
Didn't really happen. Maybe they say she just got too stoned because she's a huge marijuana voter.
A kid was born, so maybe they claim that happened. But I don't know. I just think that's But Roseanne, like in real life, is a Trump supporter.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's crazy, and I think it makes total sense. Like, if you were to ask me before this story, like, if Roseanne and Dan were real people and alive today, who they voted for, I would have 100% say they voted for Trump.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's crazy.
But I understand. I mean, any person who makes a whole lot of money financially, I would understand why you wouldn't vote for any Republican.
Right.
I get it. I'm not upset. I understand. You're trying to take care of yourself. But then the next
it's those poor people that are
exactly
weird.
The next reboot I want to know what you think of, which is The Office.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, and then I don't know what happened. I guess I actually deleted it. I'm not super pumped about
it. Agreed. Because first off, Michael Scott to me made that show.
I mean, I agree, but as I'm watching through it, and I haven't got to where he's off, and I'm in season 6 still at the moment. On like a rewatch 8 or whatever number I'm on. We used to watch it all the time. They did make it work without him.
Yeah.
But now when they're saying going to be multiple people not going to be back, that's when I'm like, no, I don't think you can do it.
And in my opinion, first off, the two things that two people you have to have are Jim and Dwight.
Right. Well, and fucking John Krasinski's jacked as shit now. He can't play Jim.
Yeah. He is.
I saw a picture of him all jacked with Michael Scott with gray hair. And it was Office season 10. I mean, I think it's a cash grab by NBC. Or not like cash grab, it's not a lot of money, but they're trying to get something right going because NBC's been struggling especially on the comedy front. So they're trying to just pull back at, they brought back Will and Grace, and I think they'll probably try to bring back all kinds of stuff.
X-Files was brought back.
I think if you're going to bring something back, you do something crazy. Like, you do a mashup of some Office characters with Parks and Rec. Like, you make some crazy story of how they all come together in a new town. Because, like, some of the cast-off characters, like I would love to see Creed and Kevin and all them on a show. Like, if they're still the same characters.
I loved Kevin.
I just don't want to be on The Office.
Yeah.
I just watched the episode where Jim and Pam are on their honeymoon and Kevin's in Jim's office and he answers the phone and gets their credit card canceled. So funny.
Yep. He's awesome.
He's like, can we just let the criminals keep using it?
For sure.
Video game wise, beat Nier Automata for the second playthrough.
Okay.
Way better after the second. It gets a lot cooler. So now I'm on the third playthrough. I feel like like 6 quests. I don't know how many times I beat for the third and final time, which would be cool to get that kind of checked off the mark with its weird Japanese self. Been playing a lot of Persona 5. I don't really play that on the remote play on the Vita. I might have brought that up before. While Koopy watches shows. I really like it. I think I like it better playing it on the Vita than I would on the big TV because it's not like super graphically impressive. So it's not like you're gonna be like, oh, I need to see this on this huge screen or whatever. And I can just kind of chip away at it in that way. So hopefully, eventually, I mean, it's like a 90-hour game or something, so it'll take a while till I beat it. But been playing a lot of those games. Everybody's golf, get a little golf round in every now and then. Whenever I get pissed at the other games, I'm like, well, this game's a little easier. So I go to that. But really, that's about all I've been doing besides, working.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Of course, I still don't get to play hardly any games. It's really been, honestly, with after, Christmas and everything, Si's birthday is next weekend. Had to get ready for that, buy his presents. And honestly, we still have yet to figure out where all these toys are going. Right now, half the living room is divided with, furniture and TV and jazz, and the other half is for Si and all his stuff.
You should just buy a storage unit and put it in your front yard.
Oh, one of those, was it pods, I think is what it's called? And just have them drop it out. I mean, I guess I could.
Let's just leave it here, guys.
But, I mean, I would have some of those crackheads right down the road that may try to...
You can rent it out to them.
They can stay in there whenever they're...
Yeah.
Because they take buckets of water back and forth.
All right, so one thing I'm going to bring up before we take our quick break is just a random question I had one day. I'm trying to write down random questions. I have a lot of random questions when I drive around because my new job requires me to drive around a lot. So, I randomly think about stuff. And I rarely write them down. One I wrote down was, why is your favorite color your favorite color? Because I feel like I have like it was meant to be sort of thing, right? And there's certain colors like I just hate. And I don't know if anyone else cares. Like, as an adult, you don't really care as far as what you wear. Yeah. Like, I'm not like, it's like green's my favorite color, and we get into why or whatever. But I'm not like, I have to wear green. Ever. No, like, that's just not even a big deal to me. But, like, it is my favorite color.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, I used to be the same. Blue, I used to only want to wear that, period. But now I could really just care less what colors I wear. As long as it's a shirt that's clean, I'm going to put it on, and that's really about it.
I mean, to me, from what I remember, the reason green is my favorite color is because when I was 5, Power Rangers came out, and the Green Ranger was awesome. But I remember people asked me before that what my favorite color was, and I would just say green.
Just say green.
And there really wasn't a reason that I knew of. It just, I guess I liked fishing and fish were green, but like I don't know if I ever connected those dots.
Yeah, I mean, I've had blue my favorite color most of my childhood all the way up, and I don't know what initially started. Maybe it was just my parents always had my room in blue.
Right. See, I disliked blue because
every other boy loved blue.
Right. The same reason, like if I was a girl, I think I would hate pink, and I'd probably be like, I like purple.
Yeah.
Or orange or whatever. Just because I don't know. And then like one of my best friends growing up, he loved red, and everything had to be red.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I love green, but
it's like I don't have to have
I don't need
shoelaces, underwear, everything is red.
So anyway, that was a random question. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we do back, we're gonna do top 5. I think we're doing top 5 favorite fast food restaurants.
Yep.
All right. We'll be back.
All right.
All right, and we're back. So, Powwow, what are we going to do after the break?
All right. So, if anyone has any questions, suggestions, or corrections, please email us at thepowwowwithmo@gmail.com. That is THEPOWWWITHMO@gmail.com.
All right. And this week we did get an email from Marissa. So,
what up, Marissa?
I guess a little backstory. This past weekend, there was a bachelorette party at my house that my wife hosted. And through that, I got a few of the women to subscribe to our podcast.
Sweet.
And at least one of them are listening, which is Marissa.
Yeah, at least she is for sure.
Who emailed us. She's going back to the beginning, which I think is a mistake. But she won't know us because she's going to be a while till she gets to this one.
For sure.
I think the first one's the worst. I think the first 2, 3, and 4 are important because those are like my favorite top 5 that we did. But we're still getting in this groove. I don't know if our groove's good, but we have some groove at least now. Kind of the way it goes. So anyway, she did mention we have different opinions in her, and I will say I have different opinions than me on almost every topic. Like I almost anything I have an opinion of, I can almost go exactly opposite and argue that and understand it. So most of the time, I think I'm trying to balance out like your liberal sort of ways, even though I'm fairly liberal as well. I'm just like, well, try to balance a little bit.
And it was good to see that that someone heard about the Colin Kaepernick story.
About the military and people he talked to. Yeah. So anyway, she had wanted to bring up the Oprah Winfrey Golden Globe speech that happened.
Oprah Winfrey for president 2020.
Right. Basically the speech, she was just saying like the industry, it's going to stop now. She gave a link to the video, but it's been taken down when Powwow just tried to click it. It was a really good speech. I'm not taking anything away from it.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think this whole her need to running for president is really dumb.
I mean,
I just don't think we need. I say we, like, I'm not even like a Democrat, I'm like an independent or whatever, but I just don't think you combat a celebrity with a celebrity. I would love to see our government get back to like people that know what they're doing running for president and not just rich people.
So now so far you have Oprah, The Rock, and Kanye.
See, I like The Rock though because he just seems to have a really good. He's just real positive. Like I don't think he knows what he's doing either.
No, probably
but I don't think
not.
he would try to do anything bad.
No, but I just want to see him on his inauguration day stand at the edge and just flip the hand up and say, "Can you smell?" Yeah. And that would be awesome.
Listen, Kim Jong-un.
We're jumping people's elbow on you.
Right.
It's comical, but just like with Trump, I think he has enough people around him that's going to go, you know what, we're not going to let you kill everybody.
Right. So, anyway, I think the Oprah speech was great. She mentions me having a top 5 most influential female. She just ran. Maybe we just might do females.
Yeah.
I would have to kind of think fairly hard. And I think it'd probably be like my grandmother. I don't know if it would necessarily be celebrities. But there might be some we do. Honestly, I think this whole like women speaking up is super, super great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's super obvious we're going to get to a point where it's going to go oversaturation to maybe false claims go too high. Something happens that's going to set it back some way. That's just like my prediction. Like I don't want it to. I think it's all good. But I also think like guys are getting called out for like, when you were 17, you tried to have sex with me by touching my boob. And it's like, yeah, I'm not saying it's right, but that's a 17-year-old guy. Like there has to be some room of like, I was stupid and young. Can I just get forgiveness? I don't know if that exists now. Like, I feel fairly safe because I was just so shy all the time. I wasn't going to really do anything crazy. But also seen almost everyone who done crazy things get rewarded when you're in college and high school. So I don't think any of that stuff's going to stop when the guys who act like that get, like, quote-unquote rewarded with the sex.
Agreed.
Whatever.
I mean, I had plenty of female companions in college. Never had any sort of sexual assault, and I agree with you. I think we are going to come to a point where it's going to be over embellished with people, and they're going to use it for their own benefit. Now, I hope that never happens because what has happened to many of these women is terrible. Sexual assault should never happen to a man or a woman, period. But it's coming to the point where if I accidentally touched a girl because I turned and my arm touched her in her left hip, now I'm going to be considered having sexual assault.
Right.
I think that's what we will eventually get to.
I think, I mean, it's the same thing I always complain about. And I completely understand that, like, the females are, if there is a scoreboard, are down. So, therefore, we're trying to catch up, right? Same way in the, like, minorities scoreboard, they're down compared to white people in America. So, like, that's why it's like on the Mindy Project, which I watched, and it's fairly funny. On an episode, James Franco's on, and he's, like, passed out from sleeping gas. And Mindy Kaling's, like, forcefully making out with him while he's passed out. And it's a joke. And, like, it's funny. You laugh at it.
Yeah.
But, like, if James Franco has someone passed out, and he starts, like, that's not funny. Like, that's so creepy. And so, and I get it. I completely get it. But I still think when that exists, you're going to have people. We're still going to have, because the way people argue and the way they think.
It's just like this Hoodie thing that we talked about earlier.
Right. Same with the Hoodie thing. Like, it just, none of it should fucking matter.
I mean, I think it's going to get just beyond crazy.
Well, and a lot of, I mentioned Dave Chappelle earlier. A lot of people are mad because Dave Chappelle was pretty lenient on Louis C.K. And he said about the female comedian that if Louis C.K. masturbating in front of her ended her comedy career, then she had a weak soul. Which, sure, maybe is a little harsh way of wording it. But I guilty. He's just saying, like, he would not have stopped if someone jacked off in front of him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, his drive was so... That's where he was coming from. And it just kind of... I don't know. All of it's just... I feel like it is going to happen where it's just like, you're just not going to care. Like, the same reason, like, right now, I was so into politics for, like, the last year and, like, the last month.
It's like, I'm done.
Finally hit my breaking point of, like, I just can't do it. And none of it matters.
No, I can't. I used to look at with you. I would look at it every day when I woke up in the morning, have my coffee. I would just see what it was like, and now I can't even watch it. It's so, except for the memes of Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un's rockets,
right?
But I mean, I can't continue to watch the craziness that goes on, like this whole DACA thing, and now it's federal
I'm
judge
just
blocked
relieved we have a genius for a president,
a stable. Genius.
Right.
That.
All right, live update. I just saw another email. Marissa wrote in again. She's on episode 8 with the wrestlers.
Damn, she is flying through this.
She also loved Degeneration X, and Suck It did take over the schoolyards.
For sure. I love that picture that she's got there. It's
right.
Very iconic.
All right, so let's get into our top 5. We are doing top 5 favorite fast food. Now, here's where I was kind of like, it wasn't super hard. I mean, I went with basically things in our town, so that kind of limited me.
I mean, now, if there was one of mine is not in this town.
I have some honorable mentions that aren't, that are really good, but it was also hard for me to balance like them at their best versus like the average of what you get,
actually,
like the best versus the worst, and like kind of what's your normal. So like it's really hard. So different ones of these, like the thing that should have been my number 1 is not. Because the one here in Ada is that bad that I'm like, I haven't had a good thing from there in years, so how could I judge it? And these are all pretty hastily done whenever I made it one day, so I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm willing to defend it, at least my number 1. So
yeah, I mean, number 1 and 2 for me, definitely I'm agree with. So I'll start out with my number 5 is going to be Mazio's.
My number 5.
Is it? Okay. So
I pronounce it Mazio's.
Whatever. Ken's Pizza, whatever you want to call it. So first off, I ordered Mazio's just, I don't know, like sometime last week. You can add a deal of ranch.
Yep.
So I added it.
Yep.
For $3.50. Didn't realize it was $3.50.
Oh, you got the big cup.
I didn't know about this big giant ass cup.
Yeah.
So I go, get a ranch because that's what first popped. Do you want a ranch? I go, yes, of course I want extra ranch. So I get it because I thought it was going to be those little, small ramekin. Then Jill walks in the door with this 16-ounce ranch cup. And I go, Jesus, what did I spend it on?
Yeah.
But, I mean, granted, I'm not a huge fan of ranch, but the ranch is delicious. But I love their wings and their calzone.
Right. So I knew my number 5 so I'd be a pizza place because pizza is like my least favorite of like foods. I don't love tomato sauce necessarily. I like Domino's. I don't hate Domino's. I know you hate them. We're going to get into it later.
Yes.
Since they've done their whole reinvention of their recipe, their pizza tastes better, I will say the least. Mm-hmm. And I do like getting me like an Alfredo chicken pizza. That's probably my favorite way to go. But Koopy always hates on it because I had bacon, and she doesn't like bacon on pizza because she's a weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, bacon with anything just makes it better.
But Mazio's takes it for me over the other places. Also like that... what are the fucking pizzeria places here in Ada? They like
San Ramos?
Yeah, San Ramos is pretty good too. But I do Mazio's because they do more cheese to sauce ratio, which I prefer. You mentioned the calzones are delicious. Now, they are the most expensive of probably of the pizza places.
Yeah.
But their wings are the best. So they have the best wings of all the pizza places here, and that puts them over the top.
Yep.
Some nights, because I've now gotten Koopy on the wing train, we'll just order wings. I'll get like 20 wings of buffalo, and she'll get 10 of this like garlic parmesan weird thing that she likes. Showed her how to, on the flats, how to remove the second bone. So yeah, I think the wings really sit over the top for me to make Mazio's better than the other places.
Agreed.
Their wings are really good.
Let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people hate on it. Can you eat a thin crust pizza? Or will you, I should say, not can you?
I mean, I'm not gonna order it, but like I know Kubi likes it, and I mean I've eaten it. It just seems more like a snack.
Well, a lot of people say I don't want to eat a cracker.
Right, and I mean sometimes like Pizza Hut's thin crust seemed like a cracker. I think.
Yeah, but like we had Mazio's because I can have thin crust, but with only one kind of thin crust, and that's pepperoni. That's it. Anything that has anything additional, it's too heavy, and it literally makes it break when you're lifting it up.
I can see that.
So I can eat pepperoni. Like I ordered that the other day. We had pepperoni and hamburger and wings. Or excuse me, calzone, not wings on this one. I used to love thin crust. Absolutely loved it.
Right.
Now I'm more of just a normal hand toss kind of guy. Plus, it feels like you get more money or get more food for your money.
So anyway, we both love Mazio's. I never do delivery. I always go pick it up. For any pizza place,
I can't get it freaking delivered.
I don't want to tip anybody.
Yeah.
Ever. So I'm just like, I'll just go pick it up. Just tell me when I'll be ready, and that's what I'll do. Honestly, my favorite pizza place is Simple Simon's Pizza, which they sold in the convenience store in my hometown. And there was an actual real Simple Simon's like pizza place in Kingston when me and Kubi used to live down there. And it was delicious. Theirs is probably actually my favorite. It's just there's such a small amount of them.
Yeah.
And I have no idea if there's anyone close to here.
I doubt there is.
But if you ever come across Simple Simon's Pizza, shit's awesome.
For sure.
All right, so what is your number 4?
My number 4 is going to be Sonic.
Okay.
So, I used to work at Sonic, but I love their onion rings.
Yeah, they're good. I don't like the big ones. Big ones get a little too thick.
Yeah, where it gets those really massive ones.
Yeah.
No, I love their onion rings, and I also really like their foot-long conies, which aren't a foot long.
Not at all.
But I love their foot-long conies and the onion rings there. I know my aunt, she lives in Michigan. They recently just got Sonic.
Yeah, it's weird because Sonic's like a Oklahoma thing.
Yeah.
So we were just like, they're fucking
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's the only fast food restaurant my hometown has.
Yeah, I mean, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
But when they would come down, we would eat Sonic almost every other day.
Ugh.
Because they had commercials for it all the time there. But they don't have any Sonics around there.
That's funny.
And so it was funny, but I love Sonic in general. I mean, whether you get a shake or, a coney or whatever. Sonic is just, to me, an easy thing. The only problem that I have is their fries.
Fries aren't great. I mean, I have a few problems with Sonic. Like, again, it's the only one I had growing up in my hometown, only fast food place. Mm-hmm. So, therefore, it's on my top 5 because that's the only thing you can really eat. At the time, I kind of liked it. I really love their popcorn chicken. That's really the only thing I can super stand by. I also kind of like the hot dogs. My problem is if you get lettuce on anything,
it's so much lettuce.
There's so much, and there's, guess what? Fucking onions in
there's
it.
Always going to be
even if you say no onions.
There's always
I guess they keep them in the same bucket. That's all I can guess. So that's annoying. They took away my favorite thing ever, which was like the breaded chicken breast with the bacon and the cheese toaster.
It was delicious, and it's going there.
That's all I got. I mean,
chicken bacon toaster or whatever.
My first year of college, I had the Sonic card.
Or you could buy one and get one free.
Well, it had a sticker on it. Yeah, buy one free. And the thing with Sonic, because they come out to your window, if you're not familiar, they never get your coupon. And I had this thing, because it was a sticker, stuck on my dashboard for the day. And I used it for probably 26 months before someone goes, I need that. And I looked at them like,
are you
fuck
serious?
you. Fuck you. I've been getting 2 of these for $5 for 2 years. Like, I was super mad about it. I did like that, but lately, like, I just don't. Their burgers are very greasy to me.
Mm-hmm. And they're very thin.
Very thin. And I saw one of the Supersonic one, but to get 2 of those beef pads, it's so greasy. Now, I used to love their breakfast burritos. I haven't had a really good one from there in years. I don't know why. They used to have a croissant which I loved as well. Don't have it anymore. Nope. Their sausage on their toasters are a little too spicy, like a lingering spice. It's weird. But I like Sonic. It's just I have all these issues. And their service is typically pretty shitty.
Well, and yeah. And it kind of depends.
Right, depends where you're at.
It really does. But like the one here in Ada, the problem that I have is the wait that it takes for me to order. Because I'm always going during the normal lunch rush hour.
I do like their new screens, though.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
and plus you got like 1,000 different flavors you can have and different stuff. But
Yeah.
that's my number 4. So Mo, what do you have as number 4?
All right, my number 4 is Chicken Express.
Okay.
KFC used to be the king of the chicken places for
You used
me
to love
for
KFC.
a long time. And I still don't hate it. But at some point in time, they changed their original recipe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, they just did. So, as a little kid, I loved Extra Crispy. And the KFC near where I grew up, they had a buffet. And I love KFC's buffets. You go and just eat all you want. And I just eat so much chicken. And then one time I tried the original and was like, this is so much better. Like, had so much flavor and the breading, and I loved it. So like every time me and you would go, we get a bucket of original. It was so good. And then just one day, all of a sudden our chickens got smaller. I'm sure it was because like they couldn't pump them full of steroids because of fucking PETA. Either way, chicken got smaller, and then their recipe just changed. Like it just doesn't taste the same. It's different.
Yeah.
And then their sides aren't great. So because of that, Chicken Express opened up here in Ada. Now the Chicken Express in like Duncan was not good when I went there, so I'm not saying they're good everywhere, but the one here is fairly good normally.
Yep.
And their sides are really good. Like their mashed potatoes are great. You can get corn, it's great. They have a lot of good sides. I think they have like those fucking macaroni corn puffs. Yep. I don't know. All kinds of crazy shit.
Corn fritters.
That's what it is. Their sweet tea is
sweet. I don't know how many people
tea.
I see just drive through to get a gallon of sweet tea.
Yeah, top 3 sweet tea out there. It's real good.
But it's like it's got to have half of that gallon is full of sugar.
I normally get mashed potatoes, but Koopy always just gets chicken. Like I get like bone-in chicken and mashed potatoes, and Koopy normally gets. Fries are honestly, they're right up there with like McDonald's or whoever you think's good. Like their French fries are amazing. Like
really?
Like a lot of times I'm like, man, I should probably get French fries and mashed potatoes, but it's so ingrained to me that like chicken and mashed potatoes that I always get mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
But I really enjoyed Chicken Express. It's probably my go-to if Koopy's like, I don't care, get whatever you want. I'm like, okay. And I'll just go there because they're really fast. Sweet tea's delicious. And I don't think you can go too wrong with chicken.
No. And one thing that I tried from there is their jalapeno ranch. And it is delicious.
Yeah, apparently they have some crazy sauce. I don't know what it's called. The Koopy's when we try to figure it out from nothing. There was a sauce that tasted really good. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know what all sauces they have.
Well, they did change. They got a third-party vendor to do their new sauces. Because it used to say Chicken Express on their sauces.
Right.
No, now it's some other random company.
I mean, I normally just get gravy if they ask for a sauce. So.
For sure.
All right, what is your number 3?
So, my number 3 is McDonald's.
Okay.
So, first off, I'll be honest. I had an issue. This may seem strange, but I had a back and forth between McDonald's and Burger King.
Yep.
To me, the difference.
I figured you would go with Burger King.
So I'm a huge fan of Burger King. However, to me, the tipping point is the fries. I'm not a huge fan of Burger King's fries.
See, I like them well enough. Like, yes, McDonald's are more addicting.
Yep.
But when eating Burger King's, I never am like, I wish these were something else. Like, to me, they match the food. Like, I mean, I'm like,
I
it's
don't
good.
say they're not, but they're just a different fry in general.
And on the real, every place we've mentioned that has fries, it just matters how much salt they put on them.
That is very true.
That shit's salty as fuck. You're like,
how long they've been sitting.
Right. If they're fresh and salty, you're like, best fries
delicious.
I've ever had.
Agreed. But I mean, I can go through McDonald's and get a quarter pound. I mean, not now that I've tried to stop eating that bad stuff as much, but I can eat a quarter pounder from McDonald's with a fry and an orange pop anytime. Plus, I like their new order on the mobile app, and you get $2 off for spending $10 or more.
That's cool.
And you could do pickup order now, where you order it on your phone and you show up curbside and you just go pick it up.
That's cool.
So you don't have to wait on the ridiculous line or figure out.
Well, no one knows how to go through the line correctly, and it drives me nuts.
So they actually put a new sign up if you haven't been through there recently. It says, use both lanes, and it has a diagram that now shows 2 different lanes. Because I thought it was, you go to one lane, everyone stays in one lane, and then you split when you get to the
That's
Y.
how it's supposed to work. What you just said is the way it's supposed to work.
That's what I thought. However, the new sign now has cars going on both sides all the way down it.
I mean, I understand why they would want that, so that the line won't be as long, but it makes more sense the other way.
Exactly. But I don't know. I used to go to McDonald's in the summer with my grandma.
Right. See, as a kid, I loved McDonald's.
Especially because it was in Walmarts everywhere.
Right. That was a good point. But I really liked McDonald's as a kid. These days, I do not really like McDonald's. Koopy loves the nuggets there.
Oh, chicken nuggets.
And I like chicken nuggets.
And they got these new chicken tenders.
Yeah, really does.
There's some new original crispy tenders or something.
See, everything new they try to do, I'm off that. Like, I'll still get like the quarter pounder with cheese every now and then.
Yep.
I'll get the little double cheeseburger meal because with 2 little burgers. And I'll get chicken nuggets. And QB always wants chicken nuggets with sweet and sour sauce.
See, I have to get honey.
And that's a whole weird thing where I'm like, sweet and sour sauce, and you got to check the bag, and you're like, hey, you forgot it every time.
They always forget. They'll ask you, what kind
and then
of sauce
they'll give
do you want?
like 12, 14 of them extra when you yell at them because they're high school kids. And I always feel bad for them. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, wow, order the shit.
Yeah.
But
this is why you don't get $15 an hour, guys.
And I don't know if this is like a psychological thing because of Super Size Me, and I know that movie is like apparently bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
But even chicken nuggets, which I feel like can be like, it has to be on the healthier side of like McDonald's stuff. I do feel like shit after I eat.
Molten lava.
Yeah.
Like that is a little insane that
Right.
you can pour molten lava over the top of the burger and it doesn't do anything to it.
Right. A lot of preservatives.
Like you're like, shit, that's not good.
Right. So like it is, for whatever reason, like, and I think Sonic a little bit the same way with their bursts. They're so greasy. Mm-hmm. But McDonald's is in a different way. Like I can feel it in my stomach the whole time. I feel like
it definitely is. You're gonna be full whenever you're done eating it.
Right.
So that's my number 3. Mosier, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Taco Bell.
Okay, so go. I'll let you go ahead about Taco Bell.
All right, I know you hate it.
Absolutely.
I love Taco Bell. As a kid, see, I grew up kind of poor, and we went to Taco Bell a lot if we were out of town eating somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I knew we went there because it was cheap, mm-hmm. and so that meant I hated it for whatever reason. Right? I'm like, I don't want to eat here. We'll eat here because it's the only place we can afford.
Yeah.
And, which I should have been like, well, then that's all we can eat.
That's all we can eat. At least we get to go out to eat.
I was all bitchy about it. And so I hated it. But then at some point in time in like junior high, it became like cooler. And then like by the time you're 16 and got your license, yeah, it was the cheapest place to eat. And so you're like, well, I'm going to go hang out at fucking Taco Bell and get the grande meal and I'm going to eat 10 of those things. And I just really enjoyed it. Now, these days, the cheesy gordita crunch is the reason I go back because the cheesy gordita crunch is great. They have all these new things. I don't mess with all the new stuff. I still get like bean burrito, no onions, cheesy gordita crunch. Dorito tacos are a great idea. I try some Dorito tacos. I used to love the grilled stuffed burrito, mm-hmm. but nowadays it's like all rice, and I don't know if I'm messing with all that. I had Rusty worked at Taco Mayo when he was in college. So their little locos are good. But I don't find their tacos as good. Well,
I remember the last time me and you ate Taco Mayo, I was sick as a dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, the one here is really, really bad. Like, no one goes there, so therefore they don't hire people to work it. So when you do show up, it's like 25 minutes until you get your food.
It's bad.
And I know you like Taco Buenos. I've ate one here or there, but it wasn't anything that like stuck out to me of like that was really good. Mm-hmm. To me, Taco Bell's like honestly, I just grew up on it, and their soft tacos have tasted the same since I was 3 years old.
Yeah, and
they always will, and so therefore I'm gonna be like, yeah, that sounds good.
So my problem with the Taco Bell here, at least, is that I feel like half the time that because I've went there probably. I've went there actually twice in the last year. One of them was with you, and one of them was for Jill. I used to go there all the time in college. I mean, we both did quite a bit. But any time that I went there previously, they're always out of something. They're like, sorry, we're out of tortillas or we're out of lettuce.
About a year ago, that happened. It was like, we're out of beans.
Every time. And you're like,
and it was something big. Like, and they would like put a sign or whatever up.
Yep.
I will say that hasn't happened recently. Their new problem here is they've gotten these people that take orders that their new goal is we're just not going to take your order until the person at the window is kind of taken care of. So there's like hardly ever any people from the window to the order place. So it'll be like a long line before where you order. And
but
then you get you'll get to it and you're like, I'm about to order. And they'll go, 1 moment, please. And then you'll wait there for like 5 minutes and everyone behind you is like pissed at you. Like, well, is this dude taking so long? And you're like, I'm trying to look back like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to get my order, guys. And as soon as they say something, I order as fast as I can. And they also get annoyed because they're like, everything looked correct on your screen. And I'm like, I don't know. Your screen's like 8 minutes behind.
Yes.
So I'll go, hold on. I'll let you know. And then eventually get you.
Now the people behind you are even more pissed that you're ordering.
So that's been their problem lately. And they'll ask you now when you order what kind of sauces you want. It's like ask me at the window.
They
'Cause
always
know
ask
what's-
at the window.
You know what's gonna happen? They ask you there now,
And
right?
then you're gonna get it at
and
the
you get to the
window.
window, and then they're gonna hand you the bag, and you're looking at them like, "Hey, can I get some sauce? Because you didn't put them in there. I ordered it at the." Anyway, so I really like Taco Bell. I do. It's a nostalgic place for me.
For sure.
But I understand the hatred. And sometimes, you'll wake up at 2 a.m. after Taco Bell. That's just the way it is. The price you pay for
Exactly.
cheap tacos. So what's your number 2?
So you actually mentioned is Taco Bueno. We don't have one here in Ada. Anytime that I have a chance to go, this is my second place that I would go to in the area. The first place I'll go to is my number 1. But Taco Bueno, to me, their little salsa bar that they have, the salsa is always delicious because it's made that day. And I don't know what it is about their taco meat. It is different. I don't know what it is about Taco Bueno. It feels like it's been sitting in this pile of, I don't know, greasy sauce.
Well, it's kind of like if you have Mexican friends. And you go to like a big Mexican gathering and you look in there and they have like grilled up the 10-pound hamburger meat.
Yeah.
And like one big pan and you're like, holy shit. But for whatever reason, something about that much meat together, it like curls it all into more potent meat.
Yeah.
That's
So, I
what you
mean, Taco Bueno to me, it's really good with regards to that fresh salsa bar. Plus, they used to have these like cinnamon, I don't know what to call them. They're just these like cinnamon cracker type things.
I mean, I enjoy Taco Bell's cinnamon twist.
Maybe
Those are
that
always a
was
big
it. It was
go-to.
something similar to their cinnamon twist. And they were just delicious. But our thing was, I mean, when I was younger, I was very similar to your boat. We went to Taco Mayo all the time. That's why I hate Taco Mayo now. Plus, it tasted like crap, and for the next day, you're gonna get sick. Especially the one in Coweta. But Taco Bueno is, anytime we got to go there, it was like the king, and that's why I still love it now. It's just, without having it here, it almost makes me want it more than if we were to probably have it here. Probably wouldn't like it near as much.
They'd fuck up.
Exactly.
And you'd
my
remember.
expectations would drop.
Right.
But
As
yeah,
an adult, you get mad at stuff like
exactly. But yeah, Taco Bueno is my number 2.
that. My number 2, and if you would have asked us where I moved to Ada, would have been my number 1, is Long John Silver's.
Okay.
I love Long John Silver's growing up as a kid. It's more on the expensive side of your fast food.
It is.
They've changed some shit lately. So it's twofold why it's dropped down. It's honestly number 2 on memory alone.
Okay.
Like, at the best of its best, it's at number 2, but I haven't ate that in a long time. Because the one here in Ada, I doubt anyone listening to our podcast works at Long John Silver's in Ada.
Probably not.
But I'm assuming, like, most of them have some drug problems. I don't mean like they smoked pot before work. I'm like real drug
Like
problems.
tweakers.
Right. Like one day, so this was probably like 4 years ago, at lunch, I would go to Long John Silver's and I would order 2 fish, just 2 fish, nothing else with it. And I'd get to the window and the guy would look at me and go, I'm just going to give it to you. And then I'd done that 3 times a week for 3 weeks, and then he didn't work there anymore, and I had to pay for fish once and got pissed about it. I was like, God damn it. That's the people that work there. But anyway, now their fish, like you can smell it. So like you know how I'm on fish. Mm-hmm. We go fishing and we cook it, and, and we're fairly decent at it, I think. But like you'll have a box next to you, and you can smell raw fish, and you're like, that motherfucker should be cooked, and it is. So to me, that means, you know what they did? They took a raw piece of fish and they put it on that cardboard box at one time.
Yep.
And that's why I'm smelling it. And so, like,
it's so unsanitary.
It drives me nuts driving around their car with it. And their chicken's good. They are, but they gotten really small. Fish has gotten smaller. Yeah. Hush Puppy's still good. French fries, even better, but they give you like 4 now.
Really?
It's like, here's 4 French fries in your box. Like, they barely give you any. I like Long John Silver's, but they have just changed up some recipes. To where they're just not what they were when we were younger. Like, these are those giant-ass diamond-shaped salmon patties, fish, and they were great. And you put all that best tartar sauce in the world.
Oh, see, I don't do tartar sauce. I'm purely ketchup. But no, I actually, that's an honorable mention I have is Long John Silver's, because we've ate there quite often. But I stopped going because I don't know what it was. And maybe that was it, that it was the smell of the fish. I couldn't eat there hardly anymore.
Well, and they like kind of, it's weird because it has that smell, but yet they overcook it. Yeah. And then it's kind of like chewy now. And I'm like, God damn it, guys, figure this shit out.
The last time I actually went to Long was at a business trip in Duncan. And it's very similar to this tweaker thing that we have here. And whenever I mentioned to the people at work, they were like, "Oh yeah, happens all the time." So I'm sitting there in line. There's a car in front of me at the window. I'm behind it, and this car is probably a good foot and a half away from the window. All of a sudden, I see a leg stick out the drive-thru window. Another lady, the lady's leg comes out the window. She crawls out of the window, shimmies beside the car, comes by my car and goes, $6.85. Can I get your card, please? Or pay for it? I go, sure. Here's my card. So hold on. And by the way,
did she climb back in the window?
Hold on. let me make sure I'm clear here. Right around probably 15 feet, there's a door.
Yeah, I know. I've been to that morning doors many times in my life.
And so she goes in between the car again and crawls back through the window. And she keeps my car the whole time. She doesn't crawl back out. But I'm like, why did you do that? Now, she did straight up look. I mean, she had probably 4 teeth in her whole mouth. But it was one of the funnier moments that I've had. And that was the last time that I've been at Long John Silver's. And that one was not a very good experience.
Right. So anyway, that'll probably drop further and further down my list as time goes on. But
for sure,
I'm going to keep it there now until something, really gets me.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your number one?
So my number one is Whataburger.
It's on my honorable mention. I just don't eat there enough for me to have like a huge take. But I've never eaten there and not loved it.
Yeah. So I go there almost every time that I am going to Tulsa. I love Whataburger. I used to work at a Chili's there that was right across from there when you got off work. I was not about to get a Chili's after working there all day long. So then I would just go to Whataburger because they're open 24 hours a day, which is freaking awesome.
Whataburger is the first time I really ate jalapenos of like that a jalapeno burger. And I was like, I'll try it. And it was delicious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I also they have great chicken strips, great chicken strip sandwiches. All of their burger combinations for the most part are good.
Big ass box of fries that you get.
Yeah. There was a Whataburger in the mall in Wichita Falls when I was growing up. And so we would, and like inside of it, they had, it was like the back of cars. It was like the booths or whatever. So I remember eating there a lot as a kid and loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I always love Whataburger. And their breakfast is really good.
Yeah, their breakfast is bomb.
All around, I think Whataburger is a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
But they're mainly just in Texas and then bigger cities here.
Yeah, and that's it. And it sucks because I would love to have one here.
It would kill here, too.
It would. I mean, McDonald's is currently the only 24/7 place that we have.
It's way the fuck over there.
Yeah, that's the first thing. And secondly, once you get it to a certain point of the day there, it's going to take you 45 minutes to get to that damn line. And no one wants to do it. They'd rather just go to Daylight Donuts and get sausage rolls.
I always like their commercials, and they're all like, Whataburger.
Yeah, but that's my number one. I absolutely love Whataburger.
All right, my number one, it's like kind of hometown hero, is Brahms. Because it's right across the street from where we're at the moment. I was ready to defend Brahms. I know you don't love Brahms because you got sick one time.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you didn't go for like a year. They had the best burgers. Now, I've never ate at In-N-Out or Five Guys or any of these places that we don't have around here that claim they have the best burgers. But because Brahms is located in Oklahoma, most of the farms, at least the food we get here, is from here.
Yeah.
It is the freshest ingredients you can get as far as fast food. And I do think you can taste it. So like me and the wife argue all the time because I love Brahms burgers. She just doesn't like their cheese, so she'll want no cheese, but they always put cheese. And then it pisses her off. And I get it. You know, I hate tomatoes and onions and stuff, so like when that gets added to my stuff, I get pissed.
And cheese is hard to take off when it melts, so that's
right.
a problem.
I know, I completely get it. But their burgers are amazing. And then my favorite thing, which you know, is the chicken club. I get grilled chicken with the bacon sauce because I don't like that. Warning on Brahms. When they say mayonnaise, they use Miracle Whip.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, warning about me. I get real particular, might be the right word, on Miracle Whip and mayonnaise because they're not the same thing. Miracle Whip's all sweet and got all the sugar. Anyway, so that drives me crazy when they do put it on there. I don't normally get a salad, but their salads are good for salads.
I've gotten their salad there plenty of time, and the grilled chicken salad is delicious.
Now, what set this at number one for me, because all that's good. I can eat anything on their lunch menu. They have chili as well, if you ever want some chili. Yep. But they have great breakfast. So like, I really enjoy biscuits and gravy.
Oh, and it's good.
Love it. And
have you ever had their Big Country breakfast for just $3.99?
No, tell me more. No, yeah, I have before. And I always think about getting it, but I'm like, I think a double biscuits and gravy would be all right. And that's always a double biscuits and gravy. But I can go across the street in the morning and get that. It could be like a sausage biscuit or something.
Yeah.
Now, my grandfather advised me to get the bag of burritos, breakfast
For
burritos.
like $5.55 or something.
Right, and you can do sausage biscuits, junior burgers, breakfast burritos. There's like 3 things, different things. But I don't like vegetable, like all those peppers and shit in my breakfast burritos. But he claims you can get it without them, and so I might try that eventually.
Probably be able to.
So I really like their breakfast, pretty much across the board. I like their lunch, and then they have the best ice cream. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, all right, Bluebell's better, right?
It
But
is.
Bluebell's expensive as shit.
So it's stupid expensive.
Brahms is good. I got addicted to Butterfinger mixes for a while,
man.
where I ate one every
Their
day.
mixes are so. I mean, that would put me into a heart
I was
attack.
like, well, it's frozen yogurt, not ice cream, so this is healthy. And I ate one like every day for a week. But I love ice cream. Like, I love Rock Rod ice cream. Get a
Plus, they
waffle
have a
cone.
produce section here. They have the meat.
Yeah, we
you
got,
can
like, a
get
whole
pork
grocery
loin
store.
And, like you told me, tamales and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they got
there.
good tamales. Go and get some produce. Get a little Caesar salad bag. I go over all the time for small things. Their milk is $1 cheaper than anywhere else, and it's fresher.
And it
better.
lasts forever.
Right. It just tastes better. So I'm like, I don't know anybody else get milk anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I think that's how Brahms are my number one, is it's just the most useful.
Yep.
And now every once in a while, sure, they'll mess up here and there. But, I mean, like, I want to go get ice cream right now, even though it is late. Just talking about it.
Just to talk. No, I love Brahms, but as you mentioned, I did have a terrible food poisoning experience from there where I got a burger once, and 2 hours later when we were at work, I started puking at my desk, and for the next 48 hours, it was the most painful thing I've ever felt in my life. And so, like you mentioned, it was a year and a half I did not eat there at all. I refused to. But now we'll go there and get a grilled chicken salad or the chicken club. But I've eaten a burger maybe twice from Brahms since then, because I don't know what it is. I just get nervous, but they are delicious.
Yeah, they're real good. All right, so that's our top 5. A few honorable mentions. Mentioned KFC. Whataburger, you already mentioned. Jack in the Box. I actually really like Jack in the Box. The one here is just not very good.
Yeah.
But other places, I always like Jack in the Box pretty well.
I mean, the one here had the rat fall from the ceiling. So.
Dairy Queen, which was in the building that the Sonic took over in my hometown, so I did have that growing
we didn't
up.
have Dairy Queen around where I was at.
Well, I mean, I'm also grew up like 4 miles from the Texas border.
Yeah,
that's where they're at. But yeah, Dairy Queen's Blizzards are the most delicious ice cream.
I just want to be able to go there once when they turn it upside down and it actually falls out.
It doesn't happen, sir.
I know it doesn't, but I want it to
I
happen.
used to also love the peanut parfait or whatever it was, the peanut and chocolate and the thing. Golden Chick was a chicken restaurant as a kid. I went to, I don't know if you had them in Tulsa, maybe you have. But like on one day of the week, it was all you could eat chicken strips on their buffet.
Really?
So my parents would just take me there and be like, all right, have at it. And I'd eat like 50 chicken strips. It was great. And then Quiznos and Jimmy John's I put here because I don't like Subway personally. It's just not my thing. But Jimmy John's, I really like their bread. Their bread's delicious. And I always like Quiznos. I know it gets a lot of shit these days, but I liked all their toasted sandwiches when I was in high school.
Yeah.
They've kind of fallen off, I guess, since then. But they used to have those weird sponge monkeys or whatever that done those stupid-ass commercials.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Good stuff.
I had Subway on the honorable mention. But I can only get one sandwich from there.
Chicken teriyaki.
Yep. That's the only thing that I can get from there.
I only get the chicken bacon ranch.
But we had this place in Broken Arrow. It's called Coney Island. And it's you can either sit down or you can just go pick it up. And it was exactly what you're saying. It's conies, but they were actual foot-long conies, and they were delicious. Because you could get this one where it had 2 foot-long conies in this giant big boat that you're gonna probably die from after you get done eating it. But it was amazing. There used to be this restaurant, and the only place I'd ever seen it was in Tulsa. It's called Burger Street. They had the best burgers that I've ever had. However, they closed down, and now there's some Chinese fast food restaurant.
Right.
But I do have on here, and Jill, if you're listening, please go ahead and hit the pause button or mute whatever so the kids don't hear this. Fuck Domino's. And let me explain why. So, my wife went to go pick up Domino's. We order Domino's probably once every 2 weeks. I loved their...
They just have a good deal. They have this $5.99 for medium or anything
you
off
can
their
pick-
list. And
then you could get the sandwich. The Philly sandwich was delicious.
Yeah. So they have just a good deal.
So Jill is going there with her younger brother and our 2 boys. So she's in there getting the food. It's taking longer than expected. So they go in, and Saya has to pee at this point.
Right.
Okay. My kid's not wearing diaper because he's trying to become a big boy and use the toilet. So she goes in and goes, "Hey, can my son pee in your restroom, please. They go, sorry, it's only employees only. She goes, I understand that, but this kid's 2.5 years old. He's not going to be able to hold it till I get home. Can you please let me use your restroom? And they go, ma'am, I told you it's employees only. And then she just walks away from the counter in general. And still Jill goes, all right.
Is Jill paid at this point?
Yeah, we've already paid.
Oh, okay.
We already paid on the online to order it. And so she goes, all right, fine. Gets our food and walks out in the parking lot and goes, I pee right here in front of the parking lot. Probably not the best parental decision, but it was still funny. But that is my issue with Domino's is you would not allow a 2.5-year-old kid.
Jill's got a little bit of her hometown in it.
Exactly. I mean, I understand you have a rule, but there's always exceptions to a rule.
Right.
And if I was to see a kid that needed to use the restroom, I'm going to let him use it. Period. I don't see the issue. It's just right there, 15 feet away from where you're standing.
Right.
Let the people walk by and use the restroom.
Should have had him pee in this store.
That's actually what her pee on the wall or something. And they go, well, Goodwill's right down here. And he goes, he's not going to make it. He's got to go now.
Right.
And that's my problem with Domino's. So Jill, first off, wrote a complaint to corporate. Never heard anything back from him. At least I would have thought we've got
their commercials are so dope too. It's like, and we back in the building.
Exactly, they breaking stuff.
Oh, it's so good.
It's awesome.
Oh,
and I honestly love
Sucks
the
to
Domino's
hear.
pizza. But because of that, my wife has vowed that we will never eat Domino's pizza, and we have yet to ever eat it from that point on.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so the last thing we're gonna do was if you had a New Year's resolution.
Yeah. So me and Jill wrote our list, which is. It is funny because one of the things that she wrote, and she may not want me to say this, but too bad she's not here to stop me, is that she wanted to have sex more, which is, I'm down for that. I'll take that New Year's resolution.
She didn't say with you on her list.
Right? And so her brothers come over. We put it on our bulletin board because we were going to put it up and I didn't know where to put it at that point, so I just put it on the bulletin board. And so Corey, being inquisitive like he is, asked us what our New Year's resolution was. We kind of tell him, we did create one on the board. He goes, okay, well, I'm going to go look at it. Well, Austin, her younger brother, is also with them.
Right.
They go down the list, and you can see when they hit it. Because she also put kinky in there as well. And they just stop. And I'm like, oh, this is so awkward that this is happening. But, I mean, that's probably a little much than some people wanted to hear, but it's whatever. But, no, I mean, some of the things that I have, obviously, like normal is weight loss, but I actually started that in right after Thanksgiving when I was almost 250 pounds. And I got to a point where I go, I can't breathe when I'm tying my shoes.
I mean, that's crazy because I was at 250 pounds forever. I mean, I'm under that at the moment.
But
currently.
Your body build is so much more different.
Right. I'm like broad shoulder, barrel chested.
Yeah, where mine is purely in the gut area.
Well, and you got your mom's ass.
Yeah, that's true. With these thunder thighs, I got that big ass. But no, I am as of today. I got down to 228. My goal is 205 by May, so I can start dancing at powwows. And that's another one that I have is that I want to be able to finish my regalia for my powwow outfit and then start my son so I can get size done by the beginning of next year. So he can start dancing at some point. Because I would like for him to be able to, at least if he wants to dance, he can. I'm not going to force him. Because I'm
going to make fun of that white kid at the powwow.
With the red hair, right? Mm-hmm. But hey, maybe he can get head man like some of these other people. But that's just a few of mine. Do you have any resolutions, Mo?
I mean, I really need to quit smoking cigarettes. I bought some patches. I've tried it, but I had a few like minor side effects that deterred me enough to be like, I don't want to fuck with these patches. One, my arm really hurt. It's like I put on my arm and like after like an hour, like physically, like my blood veins felt like they hurt. Jeez. And I was like, this seems more dangerous.
Yeah, that seems bad.
But I was
like Ricky and smoke with the patch on.
And then like my whole arm was like real red where the patch was at, like. And I was like, oh, I'll be all right. And then, I mean, I didn't smoke. So, I mean, I could kind of help, but I still wanted to smoke.
Yeah. And
I was the whole time just like, I just want to rip off this patch and smoke a cigarette. And I'm like, well, if that's the way I feel, I don't see how this patch is any fucking helpful. Me at all. Like, so then I was like, because I didn't quit before I went back to work, and I knew that when my work started to be harder to quit because the way it kind of all works. Because I drive in my car a lot. And when I'm in my car...
I'll be honest.
After meals and when you're in your car is when you want cigarettes.
That is the most time that I want is after I eat. That's the most time that I crave a cigarette, or when I'm driving.
Yeah.
Which is why I chew gum all the time now, because I have to have something.
I need to, I guess, but anyway, so I try to go this whole like just smoking half a cigarette at a time, which I've done, which has cut back quite a bit.
Any cutback is good.
But before the end of the year, I really need to quit, because I told Kubi I'd quit at our wedding, and that just didn't happen. And I completely like, and it's super fucking annoying. Like, it's so annoying for people to be like, you know, it's not good for you, and you're like, no
I
shit.
know this shit.
And it's like, I don't know why I started. I just did it, and it was cool. Like, not cool like I look cool, but like it made me feel good at the fucking moment. Yeah. And now I do it because it's like a crutch for my whole life.
Exactly.
And when everything else is going to shit, you know, it's been the same the last 10 years. Fucking smoking a cigarette. You get 5 minutes, just fucking chill the fuck out. And so I just really,
if you got it.
I just really hold on to that, and so I really don't want to. Now me and Koopy, because I mean, like, I'll walk the dog or whatever at the park. That's about as much exercise as I get. I've decided the only way I'll ever work out again probably is someone, like, comes up with a basketball league, and then they, for whatever reason, want me to play, even though it's been years since I played basketball. Because, like, I just don't care enough to, like, just do hard exercise work for nothing. So me and Q try to eat a little better.
Yeah, that's honestly
and trying to get
thing.
better groceries, but it sucks. So that basically, I've been eating meat, just nothing but meat, because
and red meat, I'm assuming.
Not all of it, but like I'll make like these fucking fresh ass green beans or peas or all this fucking shit. Like I like canned green beans with butter and salt, and I'll make them and I'll eat a couple, and I'm like, I guess I get the appeal. But then I'll just eat like double portions of meat.
And it just doesn't.
And I'll just eat meat.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you should try though.
But I wake up and I'm so hungry.
Yeah, no.
Because like sugars and
that's
carbs.
That's a huge thing for me, is being hungry.
There's this new book we really want to get. It's basically how like butter and meat and sugar, or butter and fat and meat, is just kind of good for you, and like all this
butter,
sugar,
not margarine.
Right? And all this like sugar and stuff is just really the bad thing, and how the sugar industry paid off people to convince you that low fat stuff's good, but it's really, really bad for you. If it says low fat, you want full fat things. So we listened to that. So I was like, well, we just kind of need to cut out carbs and sugary stuff a little bit if we could.
And bread.
But it's really fucking hard. Right. And bread. Yeah. That was a big thing. Like, but like, whether or not. And I was like, I'm making one piece of toast. Like, I'm just going to, because I'm going to have egg yolk and like.
Then you got to, especially runny eggs, you got to have it.
So, I mean, I don't know if I could ever really fully, unless like, I just wish I didn't care about food. It's like my parents, because I mentioned how like my mom's not the best cook. I give her a lot of shit. She's not the worst, but I give her a lot of shit. But like she lost so much weight at one point in time, and it's because she just doesn't care about food. Like I can tell she doesn't care because she doesn't like care to salt it before cooking it, right? So like to her, it's what we do. To me, I'm like,
I love
one
food.
of my favorite things of the day is eating. And so when you're like, yeah, don't eat. Just fucking eat a piece of fucking grass. I'm like, you're just trying to ruin my life. And then so
taking away the small joys that I have every day.
So whereas in Koopy is more on like, I'll just eat super healthy, but I want to work out. I'm like, I mean, I guess I could fucking run if I could eat something I want to eat, I guess. I don't know. So I don't have any really set and plan resolutions. I think I need to get a part-time job eventually, just because I have a little extra time and I feel like making extra money is cool. Yeah. But I really like just doing the podcast, and I don't want it to interfere with all that. So we'll see if that happens this year.
Especially if we do a Stargate one.
Yeah. Well, if we ever get a 2 mics, we can do it where like I don't have to do as much work lining it all up. I think it'll be pretty easy for us to do our Stargate podcast.
Yeah. I mean, we actually went and started back and watching it, and there's so many things that the first 3 episodes.
Dude, every time I re-watch it, like somewhere like season 2 or 3, I'm like, I forgot all about this episode. Every time.
There's always something for sure, man. Yeah.
All right, so that's all we have this week. I don't know what our top 5 for next week is. I know in 2 weeks from now, we're doing the one about my rap music.
Yeah, I think next week, I believe, is top 5 sports video games.
So like that one will be interesting. So like, I know not everyone loves sports, not everyone loves video games, and so like that one will be cool. But we normally say it for the second half of the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna go new olds. Like I don't know how I'm gonna do that one. I haven't really put too much thought into it yet, so we'll have to see. And then I don't know. We need some more top 5 ideas. So if anyone wants to send any in to us,
I really think we should look and try to do Marissa's one of the top 5
Well, hers is
Influence
inspirational female rants. I don't know if I can find that 5.
I don't know if I can do
particular
rants,
but I can
just
do like my
women.
5 favorite women in entertainment.
Yeah, or just top 5 most inspirational women to yourself or what you believe for
Right.
everyone else.
It's totally gonna be Roseanne. Gonna be my number one
for sure.
Because I liked Roseanne a lot. But all right, that's all I have. I don't know what day we're gonna get this put out on. It's late as shit on Wednesday.
Yeah,
maybe Friday or Saturday, and then we'll record on Sunday. Try to do that one.
Yep.
Our normal time, and then keep it going. All right, that's all we got.
All right, peace, guys.
Peace.